You know, we begin a new week here after an unprecedented stretch of days in our country responding to the death of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police. Calls for change rising and ringing from coast to coast, and perhaps hope for spiritual healing is needed as well. Joining us this morning is Rev Sheron Patterson. She's a senior pastor at Hamilton Park United Methodist Church in Dallas. Welcome, Rev Patterson.
Hello, Cleo. How are you this morning?
Thank you for just being here with us. I'm so sorry I flooded up on your name a couple minutes ago, but we got it. We got it going now.
It's all good, Cleo. It's all good.
All right. Reverend, you have a special perspective as the daughter of a police officer. How does this affect you in the way that you process things that are happening right now?
Cleo, it really tears at my heart from both angles because my father was a policeman. He was a policeman in Charlotte, North Carolina for 30 years. And so I was reared in the blue, and I love the blue. And so a part of me hurts when I see violent people hurt the police, like hurling bottles and fighting. But then another part of me hurts when I see the police attacking innocent or peaceful protesters. So there's a lot of pain that's been going on surrounding policing during this time of the George Floyd era. But Cleo, let me say, we are in the midst of an unprecedented time 100%. In our nation. And it's really exciting. And as a pastor, I see God at work, and I'm beginning to feel very hopeful for the future.
Reverend, I can relate to you. My husband is also a police officer.
No.
Oh, yes, yes. So
oh my God.
I totally understand both sides as well, and I'm hurting as well, right? But what have you taught people, I guess, in the church that are dealing with anger and frustration in terms of systemic racism as well?
Yeah, Cleo, I did a Zoom town hall for my church this past week called Rising Above the Rage, because we all are upset, we're angry, we're traumatized, but we cannot sit in that negativity. We cannot marinate in our own misery. We have to rise above that. And in fact, I'm on my way to church right now to do a live stream, and the name of my sermon is "There's a Knee on My Neck, but there's a God on my side."
Wow, talk about on point with that one. Reverend, what are your thoughts on how the Dallas Police Department has handled the protests here?
Yeah, Cleo, I have been watching that very carefully, as I'm sure you and your viewers have. It has been an amazing move toward the positive. It started off violent. I mean, our wonderful police chief, Renee Hall, was in the streets when it first started, and there's a photo of her trying to calm people down. But I understand that the wheels of her police car were slashed and there was violence. Then, unfortunately, the DPD began to unleash violence on peaceful protesters, and I was saddened by what happened on the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge. But to rectify that, the police and the city council are addressing that and making moves to remove excessive violence. And the good news I saw in yesterday's newspaper, DPD has eliminated the chokehold. DPD has instituted a system where if an officer sees another officer with excessive force, he or she will call them in or step away. So this is 1 week.
Yeah.
1 week. And then let me say this. Then yesterday, Chief Renee Hall was in a march with police people, and she was taking a knee for George Floyd with tears in her eyes. This has been an amazing week.
Yeah, you're right. That chokehold was banned nearly 16 years ago, so it was good that the department let people know that it's no longer any kind of tactic in the police department. But I want people to know that you were the master of ceremonies at last week's remembrance for George Floyd at Dallas City Hall, and you actually got down on the ground, laying down on the ground for 8 minutes and 46 seconds of silence.
Yes.
Why was that so needed, and why are you encouraging other people just to understand the significance of that?
Yeah. As the MC, I told everyone, listen, we're going to observe these moments of silence for George, and you have options. You can stand on your feet, you can take a knee, or you can get on the ground like George Floyd was on the ground. And I decided to get on the ground like George Floyd, because unlike George Floyd, I would have the opportunity to get back up after 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And Cleo, let me tell you, that's a long time. That's a long time to have the air removed and to have your windpipe crushed and to cry out to your mother and to cry out, I can't breathe. That is a long time. That was a slow, torturous death.
Ooh, Reverend Patterson, I want to see your sermon this morning as well. You got a light in you, a fire in you that I'm so drawn to right now. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and I really hope to see you again soon. We got to have you back.
Thank you, Cleo. I'm available.
Thank you so much. Coming up here on